Hey guys, Galapagos Jay here, bringing you another episode of Joe Blaster Tips. Today let's talk about a topic that a commenter actually suggested for me, and he actually asked me what sort of cylinder volume should I pair up with what length of inner barrel. And I think that's actually a very good topic that I should cover because I haven't actually touched on that yet. And this is something that could really affect your trajectory and accuracy as well. So let's get started. So to start things off, let's have a look at this chart. This chart is listing out basically all the available volumes of the cylinders that you can buy on the market, and also the recommended range of lengths to pair it up. And there's also the ideal barrel length to pair up with the right amount of cylinder volume. But you know, this is more of a reference, and this chart was actually produced by the local community based on calculation, a lot of trial and error, and a lot of years of modding experience. So this chart is actually one of the go-to information for a lot of our modders to basically start our Joe Blaster project. It's basically the step one when we consider what volume and what barrel length we should get, and then when we start putting in other parts, then we'll make tweaks to that, you know, cylinder, maybe push it up a little bit or have other different considerations and things like that. But generally speaking, that's a very good start for everyone to start tweaking their Joe Blaster. Now, having said that, I think most of us wouldn't just buy a new Joe Blaster and just leave it like that. All of us basically just want to, you know, upgrade and mod and stuff like that, right? So somewhere down the line, there's bound to be a crossroad where you'd have to be upgrading either your barrel or your cylinder. So when you refer to the chart, it'll basically give you quite an accurate sort of like combination for you. But what if you are at sort of like the range where it's not like, you know, 100% or 70% or somewhere in between and stuff like that, or maybe you actually put in the wrong volume? What would happen if you have too much air? So to understand that, we need to go to the principle of how AEGs and Joe Blasters work first. So basically, you're trying to push this volume of air rapidly, okay, to push this projectile through an inner tube, okay, the inner barrel. And the inner barrel has a volume by itself and a cylinder as well. So what you need to do, obviously, because air is a particle, you need to fill the space, okay, behind the projectile that would be able to push it through the entire length of the volume of the inner barrel, because it has to replace that space. Otherwise, it's not going to be enough. So, for example, if you have like a 40 centimeter long barrel and you only have like a 10% volume cylinder, just for example, okay, that 10% volume would not even be able to fill like, I don't know, a third of that barrel. So if you do it on the other hand, okay, if you have like a 12 centimeter barrel and also a 100% cylinder, you're essentially like pushing this huge amounts of air that is like in excess of the volume of the inner tube out of the barrel at very high speed along with the projectile, okay? What would happen? Now, I have actually modified my vector, okay, to demonstrate that idea, because my vector is at 12 centimeter barrel, and also I usually use like 70% cylinder on it, but I have modified it to have 100% volume cylinder. So here's a video you guys have a look at first. Now, as you guys saw in the video, the trajectory and also the impact points were all over the place. And one very important thing to note is that the jacket that I was shooting at was only 2 meters away from my muzzle. So as you guys saw, this is basically the phenomenon that would happen to your trajectory when you have too much excess air pushing out of the barrel at the same time. So if you go to like the chart, right, let's use the smallest barrel length, like still in the chart, so maybe 15 centimeter. So according to the chart, you're supposed to fit a 50% cylinder with it. Now, if the 50% is enough to push the projectile out of the barrel, then you have an extra 50% of excess air trying to push out of the barrel at the same time as the projectile, while also at the muzzle, it's going to basically gush out, okay? Because it's not going to exit the barrel in a tubular sort of fashion, it's going to go all over the place because it's trying to equalize itself with the, surrounding pressure. So it's going to go all over the place. And when that happens, you actually have streams of air, okay, in a way, trying to pull the projectile or push the projectile in different directions. Now, for smaller deviations, maybe like 20 centimeter barrel, and then you fit it with like 80%. So there's like an extra 10-15% in there. Then the effect of that deviation won't be that big, okay? But if you have something like that 50%, extra 50 to 60%, because it's for my vector, it's a 12 centimeter barrel, okay? Maybe it's an extra 60% of air. Then you're really seeing some huge turbulence at the muzzle affecting the trajectory of the gel ball, because it's basically this huge gust of air trying to push it all over the place. And that's exactly what you guys saw. It's like a shotgun effect. And that's actually pretty cool if you're playing CQB encounters, because it's just like a shotgun burst fire effect. But then if you're trying to do like a sniper rifle or something like that, super accurate, then this is definitely something very important to consider. So very important advice is when you want to control your trajectory and also the accuracy of your gel blaster, always refer to the chart first. You can increase the cylinder volume up a little bit, maybe 5 to 10% extra, but don't go over too much, because it's really going to affect your trajectory at the longer range. So yeah, hopefully that really helped you guys in choosing the right cylinder volume and also matching up with the right length of inner barrel. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions or whatever, please feel free to message me and stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope that helped you guys out. Peace, guys.